Do you ever feel exhausted from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep and everything in between is just hard? You're less productive, you end up skipping your workout, all you're craving is junk food, and you have that extra large coffee just to get through the day. And all you want in this world is a good night of sleep. What if I told you that just by tweaking a few simple things in your routine, you could fall asleep faster and wake up feeling more refreshed? Would you try it? Good sleep is the #1 way to reset your body and brain. It is critical for physical health, mental health, performance, and your resilience. And let's face it, good sleep just makes everything better. Without it, it's like there's something foundational that's totally missing. And you just try to play it off. So today, we're going to talk about how to improve the quality of your sleep by taking control of your physiology. And we're going to dip into science just a bit. And at the very end, I'll tell you exactly how to plan a day for the best night's sleep. Okay, but before we get into it, I need to reveal the biggest problem that you're actually facing with your sleep. It's the hormone cortisol. It is a stress hormone, but it does also affect your sleep. When your cortisol levels rise, like they do naturally in the morning, it stimulates wakefulness, and that's actually what wakes us up in the morning. And as the day goes on, our cortisol levels start to decrease and they reach their low in the early evening and those beginning stages of sleep. So more cortisol equals wake up, less cortisol equals go to sleep. Now let's put this into the context of stress. Every time you experience stress, which you do all day long, cortisol is also produced. It's like a double whammy. Each time it's produced, it stays in your body for several hours afterwards. So as the stress accumulates in your day, so does your cortisol. So by the end of the day, you're physically tired, but those high levels of cortisol are preventing you from falling asleep. And what comes next is you getting kicked while you're down because you're stressed out about not being able to sleep, which produces more cortisol, which makes it even harder to sleep. You're stuck in this vicious loop. I mean, does this sound familiar? And ironically, sleep is what you need the most because a good night's sleep turns off the production of cortisol. So, how do you break this loop? I've got 2 sets of strategies. How to optimize your days and your nights to prepare your body chemically for sleep. So let's jump in. Decrease caffeine and alcohol. Caffeine actually stimulates cortisol and wakefulness, and different amounts of caffeine affect people differently, but fun fact, it takes 5 to 7 hours for just 50% of the caffeine that you ingest to leave your body. That's kind of bonkers. And research shows that people that drink large amounts of caffeine don't get as much good sleep as they think they do, that the quality of their sleep would actually be a lot better if they cut back on their caffeine late in the day. Okay, alcohol. It can help you fall asleep faster, but research shows that you will also wake up more often during the night, and it disturbs your sleep in the REM portion of sleep, which is really where we get the maximum amount of rest and recovery. Absorb sunlight. So sunlight exposure ensures that our cortisol levels peak earlier in the day. So cells in our eyes send signals to our body and brain as a wake-up call, and then it starts the countdown to us actually getting tired for sleep. This might sound really simple, and it is, but it is backed by so much research, and just your indoor ambient light is not strong enough. You actually have to go outside. And why is just the letter Y, because acronyms are hard, y'all. Speed up your heart rate. Exercise is the #1 way to rid our body of cortisol, and research shows that people who exercise regularly They fall asleep faster and they wake up feeling more rested. And this is a direct quote from this report that Harvard did on sleep. Exercise is the only known way for healthy adults to improve the quality of their sleep. It's a biggie. As we move into your nights, I want you to think back to when you were a little cutie kid and there was this whole orchestrated bedtime routine. Like it wasn't just this switch that got flipped. So think of these next few pieces as like your bedtime story and that warm glass of milk. No bright lights or blue lights. So your body reacts differently to light at different points in the day. So like we talked about earlier in the morning, light exposure creates more wakefulness, and even small amounts of light exposure in the evening can really mess with your sleep and your circadian rhythm. So dim those lights and either decrease or stop your exposure to blue light from things like cell phones or screens. Intentional activity like reading or meditation or a brain dump. We all need things to help us slow our brains from like the stress and chaos of our busy days. Meditation reduces cortisol and it slows our breathing. Two things that happen naturally when we sleep. Go to bed at the same time every night. Yes, even on the weekends. Do you enjoy jet lag? Well, when we're going to sleep and waking up at all these different times, it's creating jet lag, which messes with our circadian rhythms and our sleep-wake cycles. Hot shower or a bath. A natural drop in body temperature is what happens at the end of the day and prepares us for sleep. So we can naturally recreate this by actually raising our body temperature in the bath or the shower. Then when we get out, there's a dramatic drop, which then prepares our body for good sleep. The temperature of your bedroom should be cooler than the rest of the house. Research shows that 65 degrees is pretty much ideal for most people. Set an alarm for this whole thing to start. It's so easy to just get distracted or get sucked into something that we're doing, and then all of a sudden it's really late and we try to go to bed. So set an alarm that signals you to start this wind down process. So this is what an ideal day and night might look like. At 6:30 a.m., you wake up and no snooze. By 7 o'clock, you step outside for some sun, and all it takes is 5 minutes on a sunny day or 20 to 30 minutes on a cloudy or rainy day. Yep, the sun is still out. Maybe this is where you piggyback another healthy habit like a morning walk. 7:30 at the latest. You're back inside, you're sipping on that first cup of delicious hot coffee or tea, and bonus tip, having some breakfast with protein. Your exercise. So as it relates to sleep, ideally getting it done earlier in the day is typically better. So when we exercise, it actually speeds up our metabolism and energy. So if you're doing it too close to bedtime, it might interfere with your sleep. So if you're doing something really intense, it's recommended that you do it at least 60 to 90 minutes before sleeping. 2 p.m., you stop your caffeine, or you do it by noon if you're sensitive to it. 5 p.m., no alcohol. Maybe you have a decaffeinated beverage of some sort. 6 p.m., you dim those lights. 9:30, your bedtime alarm goes off. It's time to initiate your sleep sequence. You turn off the TV for good, and you decrease bedroom temperature. 9:45, you take a hot shower or bath. 10 o'clock, you read, meditate, journal. Somewhere around 10:15 to 10:30, you're drifting off to sleep. I want you to be diabolical about getting good sleep. It is the foundation to building a strong physiology that creates resilience and a better you. If you incorporate some of these strategies, I'm confident that your sleep will improve. But If you're the kind of person that can actually fall asleep fine, but you wake up during the night and then you can't get back to sleep, I want you to watch this video because it's going to help you solve those problems.